What is up, my boomers? Today we have got another Dash.io deck tech because we're coming into a new season. Pretty excited for what's coming up. We don't really have any new heroes coming out, but we have Pro Quest coming up, and no more Zen, no more Enigma. At least after week one, probably. I assume both of them are going to win what the 30 Pro Quests it takes for them to LL. So we're going to talk a little bit about what the next upcoming meta is going to look like. And honestly, I think that it's going to slow down a lot. We still have the best deck in the format being Aurora. Nothing really changes there. Enigma actually leaving boosts Aurora even more. But with Aurora getting boosted, it looks like Prism is actually taking a good step up. So with that knowledge, I think playing some more poppers is probably going to be a good idea. So far, this is my deck that I played this weekend at SCGCON Denver. We had two Pro Plus events. The first day I played Enigma and it didn't do very well, and I was playing with my friend afterwards, and I was just like, I was running some Dio, and I was like, man, this deck is just too much fun. I'm smiling too much playing this. I'm just going to run this one tomorrow. So I took this one to a 4-2 finish and ended up bubbling out of top 8 very sadly. That's just how Gem works sometimes. It's kind of annoying that a 1-6, that losses round 1-6 is better than losses rounds 4-5. But, that's Gem, so whatever. I started off my tournament on Sunday facing an Aurora, actually, and they said that they didn't really have that much matchup experience. They won the die roll and chose to go second. Not realizing that, yes, while I am an aggro deck, I'm more so a combo deck, and being able to set up turn 0 is very good for me. Honestly, it didn't really matter if they had any matchups experience or not. I literally went Max V on, so turn 0, I look at my starting hand, it's a blue, a Max V, a 0 to 60, and a Spark of Genius, or no, Spark of Genius on top, and then like another card. I don't really remember, but I just kind of set up Arsenal and Max V, or it's like 2-0 cost boost or something. I don't know. It was something ridiculous, and I ended up getting 3 red boom grenades out on top of a Max V on turn. So I go turn 0, they go turn 1, my turn 2. I go Max V with 3 red boom grenades behind it. And then the next turn, I do a setup turn, buy back my Max V that I just played, Arsenal it, and then they have a Channel Lightning Valley turn, and I just say, bring it on. Are you going to do 36 damage to me because of my equipment as well? No? Okay, you're dead. So I put him to like 18 or something on the very first turn, and then sent another Max V at them. And it was just kind of insane. Really cool, dude. Thank you, Colin, for Orlando, for just being cool about it. Sometimes people can get a little salty whenever you go Max V into Max V. But next, I played against the Zen, against one of my locals, Dr. Daniel Wood. Very very good player. Very scared of playing him, especially in round 2. Like that's a tough matchup for me, especially against such a good player. So I actually was able to see a null time zone off the top right after actually, okay, so he pops his boots like turn 2. And right whenever he popped his boots, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna win the game, because I had 3 T-bones in my, or no, I had 2 T-bones in my hand, and then I drew a T-bone off of a spark. So I just knew immediately that I was going to win whenever I saw the 3rd T-bone, because I was able to get, so he pops boots, and then I get Shuko and Tunic immediate, or no, Shuko and not Tunic. He plays whatever the Zen chess piece is. I can't remember. Kasaya. I get Shuko and Kasaya immediately, and then draw the last T-bone after the chain breaks, and I was able to get his traverse before he had ever transcended. So that was huge for me. So I was able to do all of that, and then after that, he transcends, has a pretty big turn, but like it's nothing special. It's nothing like insane. Even if it was a transcend turn, it was still like kind of below par for a transcend turn. And then right after that, I'm able to cast the null time zone off the top, no crank, and just name Energy. And, he just can't do anything for the rest of the game. I get him to the point where it's just like symbiosis shot, crank, symbiosis shot, or like crank off the top. And it's just like, it's just an ever-ending thing, and I get a 5 card hand, and I'm able to finish it off from there. Next up, we had Sarah Stein on Acilio. She said this was her second tournament ever, or like second paper tournament ever. She was on Acilio and she killed it. She ended up fourth seed. Her only loss was me. Um, she said that she's played 2 tournaments now and she's only ever lost 1 time, and I'm like, okay, good. Like I'm feeling pretty good about that. But I mean, like the Dio Acilio matchup is just kind of like a who gets to pop off first kind of thing, and neither of us actually ever really popped off. I was able to get a no time zone named Gone in a Flash, of course, and kind of she never even saw the Gone in a Flash after I had named it, but like you can't really do anything as a Cilio without that card. Like your turns are decent at best. I never played a max V that game, but it just like it only lasted 4 turns. It was just kind of like yeah, whatever. Very good game. Congrats to her on finishing fourth with Acilio. That's really interesting, really cool. While beating like Jarls and Verdances and Florians like on the way to do it too. Like not easy matchups. So good for her. And then my round five, this is my first loss, was to Peter Beck. He is from. I've played against him before. Last time I played against him was just the most unlucky thing ever. I was super hungover, and it didn't work out very well for me. He played. This was last time. He plays the Art of Desire body, the one that's looking for reds, and I look at him. This is turn 0, first round of the RT, and I say, "This one's looking for reds, right?" He says, "Yeah," and then I go, "Okay." Block 6, and I just block 6 with 2 reds, and I don't even know why. And he just like right whenever I block, he goes, "Oh, all right, draw 2 cards," or he like gave it go again with something, and it was like, "Draw 2 cards, gain 2 life," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot new banish." Just yeah, he's on new. So he's a very skilled new player. After that, in that same game, I draw 8 items in a row, and then this game, I swear, he's so skillful at cutting my deck because last time I drew 8 items in a row. This time I drew no items in the first 4 turns except for a single Techlo core. This is the only item I saw. It still ended up being a lot closer than the game that we played last time. I was not nearly as hungover this time, and also playing just a lot better in general. Like I was feeling pretty good that day, but sadly, he's a very good player, and against a good player and also new, there's really no room for mistakes. And I definitely wish that I had that game on camera because I would love to go back and be like, oh man, I screwed up here. This is where I messed up because I'm sure that there were a lot of mistakes in this one. Very good player, very good game. Shout out to him. Also top 8. Actually, the next 2 people are top 8ers. So we have Mackenzie Gordon on Jarl. This was a very close match. He looks at me before the match starts. He goes, "Oh, I've only ever played this matchup like twice or something." I'm like, "Okay, good." I know he's not on CYB, and I'm kind of sad about that. I would much prefer to play CYB. I feel like I can actually beat that deck pretty consistently, but the just full blockout Jarl is pretty tough. He presents Sledge, so I'm kind of happy about that. It's fine. I can as long as you're just doing damage, like I'm totally fine with whatever you're gonna do. Um, and he starts like look at me while I'm playing, and he's like, "You've played this matchup before." I'm like, "Yes, many times. I know what I'm supposed to be doing in this matchup." Because my first hand was a Spark and a Techlo Pounder. Play a Techlo Pounder, Arsenal Spark. My second hand is go get a Techlo Pounder, and then my third hand is draw up, play another Techlo Pounder. So I have all 3 Techlo Pounders on board at the same time, all on 3 counters. So all of my attacks are coming in for 10 go again, and then 4, and then, maybe something else, maybe like 2 after. So he was able to, pitch some Fruits of the Forest and get some yums off of that. Going to 40, I think he was at like 45 or something the first time I hit him. And I get him down and end up getting my 2 max Vs off that I need to be able to win this game. But it just so happens that maybe we didn't hit the heists at the right time. Maybe we didn't hit boom grenades at the right time. But I was able to get him all the way down to 3 from 45. So very good game. He was like talking to me after. He was like, "Wow, like I really like how you had that setup move and like you really knew what you're doing in this matchup." I'm like, "Yeah, usually I can get there, but honestly, just the fact that he was able to gain 5 life or 6 life, I guess, because he discarded 3 fruits of the forest. Just like that 6 life really made the difference in the game, and that was really what it all came down to. So maybe there's another universe where I see one more boom grenade on the top of my deck, and I'm able to hit that, or maybe where I can get a overpowered or a dominated heist. I was never able to get a dominated heist in this game for one more pistol shot or something, or 2 more pistol shots. He ended up at 3. That's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. It was a very good match, and shout out to McKinsey. Very fun to play against. Had a great time. And then for my last round, going in, I was 3-2, and I was like going into round 6. Maybe I have hope, because I was talking to Peter. Peter was like, "Yeah, dude, you're out." I'm like, "I don't know, man. I'm coping super hard. Like, I think I might be able to do it." But no, Peter was right. He knows Jim. He knows Jim better than I do. My last round against Enigma on Josiah, and before the match, he looks at me. He goes, "Oh, I have so many bad cards in my deck versus you," and I was like, "Yeah, you do. You're right." And then, so by that, I assume that he's taking all of his chi out, so that he can block more. And then, like, we're playing, so I, put in all 71 cards, because I'm like, okay, this is going to be a slog, Enigma, taking all their chi out. I already know what's up. Turns out he didn't take any of his chi out, and I was just, like, watching him pitch chi, and I'm like, boom grenade off it ended up not being very close. It was a very fun game. He was very fun to play with and against. We had some good banter going on, because we were both pretty sure we were out of top 8 contention, so we were just kind of messing around and, like, playing the game and having fun. And he he ended up not signing any of his chi out, and I was like, he said he only played the matchup like 2 or 3 times before, and I was like, man, yeah, you got to sign your chi out versus Dio. You're gonna die real quick. But yeah, so that was another fun game. Ended up 4-2, getting 10th place, getting the bubble. Very sad. But here is the list that I played. Honestly, Gear Shift. So I really wasn't even playing Gear Shift that much. I was mostly playing the other boots. I know that it says that this is the main board, but I was mostly playing with the other boots. On solo Symbiosis Shot, no Hanabi Blaster for this one. But honestly, with the meta slowing down, I feel like Hanabi might be back in. We'll see about that, because I will need to be testing that. Also, with the meta slowing down, it's turning more into just like a straight up combo deck, instead of just like no blocks, aggro, blah blah blah, just like throw your feet in front of them. So yeah, this is kind of what I was playing. So my game plan into every deck except for the Mirror, which I never played against, and Aurora, was 66. And then versus Enigma and Jarl, I played the full 71. Or 72, however many this is. 6 plus 9 is a lot. But yeah, 73. So playing a whole 73 versus them. And I kind of upped my blue count a little bit since my last deck as well. So we have the adaptive plating. Played this in everything except for whenever I go 71 cards. I like to play the Bracers of Belief, just so that I can heist it. Get that on a heist, or maybe a max V, to make it so that they can't block out an entire max V with boom grenades behind it. Crown of Providence, still best head piece that we could possibly be playing. Gear Shift. So the reason why I was taking this out versus decks like Jarl and New is because it's 2 more cards from our deck that we're using, plus the draw that we're going to use it for. So that's 3 cards from our deck. And that's just too many cards. The one block does not, like, honestly, I like this card better than Achilles. But the fact that it's 3 cards from our deck is just, it's just too much, because a lot of the times whenever you win the game, you're winning the game with literally that last card in your deck. So That's that's just kind of the difference that I've been seeing. I've kind of been more on Achilles. Also, after like talking to people for so long, like seeing what other people are doing, um, most people are like most of the people who are winning are playing Achilles Accelerator. And then we have Teklo Foundry Heart again. That's just best in slot. You know, there's no better chess piece. Like it extends turns. It allows you to max V whenever you shouldn't be able to. Just really good card. Backup Protocol Red. This card, still amazing. Love to see this one off the top, especially against Prism. I wasn't able to face any Prisms, but there were two in our top eight. Um, and two very good players. So we had the Backup Protocol Red, which can potentially buy back a Max V if you see this. Like on the top, you can pitch to Dio and then buy back a Max V and then pop one of their Heralds. Or I mean, you could just like I've bought back so many Max V's with this, and or maybe if I have Max V in Arsenal or something, I'm able to buy back a 0 to 60 or Fast and Furious and attack for another 0 for 4, and then be able to Max V like for my third boost. Boom Grenade, still not on the blue booms. Not a huge believer in the blue booms. I just like don't really know what to cut, honestly, against it. Like which one of these cards is better or is worse than a blue boom grenade? I can't tell you. I don't know. So that has somewhere it's got to be somewhere in here that the blue booms come in, but I just don't see where that is. Fast and Furious, this card is so clutch. Versus the Acilio, I was able to keep my null time zone around for the entirety of the game because of Fast and Furious. Like I played it on turn, I sparked for it on turn one, and then just like found some Fast and Furious on the top, and it just never went away the whole game. So even if they wanted a combo, they couldn't. Fender Bender, card's great. It allows you to get like I really like the cards in mech that allow you to get around the equipment blocks. This one just makes it so awkward for warriors, especially because it's like Fang. They want to block with their boots so that they can get that extra value out of it every single time, and it's like, nope, can't do it. Sorry, or you can, but it's not. It literally does nothing at all. So that's cool. So that's always great seeing the Fender Benders versus the warriors. We have Heist, which has been an include in the main board as a 3 of. I upped my blue count and I cut a few of the one drop one drop fours that just like don't really do as much. I feel like Heist is just so good. Like if you get a dominated Heist with like, oh, if you have a processor in the Banish Zone, because there's some times where like I won't play a processor if I would rather play a boom grenade, or I won't play a boom grenade if I would rather play a processor this turn. And I see it on top and I'll boost it and I'll be like, okay, that's fodder for the Heist later. That's for a late game play that I'm going to try to pull off, because like you get one of the processors in the Banish Zone, then you play a Heist for 7 dominate later in the turn or later in the game, and it's like, oh, you get an action point for free, you get a draw, and you get another pistol shot. Like it just kind of is the thing that finishes the game off. Maximum velocity, run at 3 of. Don't see why not. Boost 1, play 1, block with 1. Buy it back with Max V and play 2 of them. And that's the point. That's the whole point of the deck. We have Outpace. This is the blue that I added in. Can't be defended by equipment. Honestly, probably not the best blue. The thing about this card is it's a blue, so you're pitching it. So late game, it can't be defended by equipment. It can early mid game be in a pinch, be really annoying for them if you are able to find like the boom grenade, but you don't want to be playing this card anyway. With 18 blues, you're gonna be seeing one blue a hand, maybe 2. And like this is not the one that you want to be playing because it costs 1. You would rather play a 0 to 60 or a T-bone because it costs 0. In late game, they're not going to have any equipment to defend with anyway. So maybe the blue Fender Benders are better just in case it is late game and you're able to completely nullify any of their defensive options on their equipment. This is slot right here. It might be... The fact that it blocks for 3, I feel like makes it better than the blue boom grenade. But... maybe this is where the blue boom grenades come in. Outpace red, this card's amazing. Like this, if you have a Fender Bender and an Outpace red in your hand, and you have a boom grenade on top, you're like, oh, what are they gonna do about it? They're gonna give 2 cards to both of these cards? I doubt it. Um, so this is like really good. Pulse Wave Harpoon, still our only disruption. This is like the one card that I would never play, or I would like try as hard as I can to not boost versus Aurora, because this card swings the matchup so hard. They don't need all 4 cards in their hand, but if you hit like, if you look at their hand and they have nothing, they have 1 attack action or something like that, or they have a burn up shock and it's like, okay, I have 1 attack action and a burn up shock. I don't show you one of them. Which one am I not going to show you? Like, I'll take either one of those all day long. So that's always great. Sprocket Rocket, it's just another zero cost boost that could potentially be 4. This is another one that, like, if you do see the processor early game or the boom grenade early game, or maybe this is like the second thing you've boosted this turn, you've already played an item off the top, and then you see a processor, this is great. Like, this is what you want to be banishing your items with, maybe a Teklo core, always something good to maybe 0 for 4. T-Bones. T-Bones are still great in this meta, even with the slower meta. If you're able to play, 2 T-Bones in a turn against the Florian or a Jarl, especially Jarl. Florian not as much because they have more things that they can just block with. But if you're able to start stripping their equipment early, then you're really chilling. Like, the ability to late game be threatening boom grenades instead of early game be threatening them is so good. Like, I just love T-Bone. I think that there's going to be some cards from the new set, like that the one with the thrice per turn instant. I don't think that we'll be playing that one, but like, maybe you do, just because it has to be defended by an equipment. It doesn't have boost, it doesn't have go again. I don't know what it looks like to have more finishers besides Max V. Maybe that's good, maybe it's bad. I don't know, we'll have to do some testing with that. Twin Drive. So we have the heists and the Twin Drive. This is what makes the 66. With it being a slower meta, I feel like Twin Drive gets a lot better because it allows you to be able to play the Max Vs easier. I didn't really like Twin Drive before. It still feels a little clunky sometimes, but being able to block with 1 card, pitch a blue, go Twin Drive, double boost, and the Pulse Wave Harpoon feels great. There's just like, it can feel a little clunky sometimes, but with it being so slow and ice being around, like, Jarl's definitely gonna pick up after Enigma's gone. I tell you what, like, that's definitely gonna happen. Twin Drive gets a lot better with any ice around, and also just like the slowness of the meta being around. 0 to 60, amazing. Zipper Hit, amazing. Spark of Genius. This is truly the best card in the deck. Like, Max V is great. Pulse Wave Harpoon is great. Heist is good, great. It's close. Cerebellum Processor is great, but like, Spark of Genius is just like, it draws you 2 cards. It gets you this processor. It draws a card. You get an action point from somewhere. I mean, you're Dio. Come on, you got action points laying around. They're in your pocket, burning holes. And it draws you another card. Like, it does exactly what you need it to do all the time. Like, it draws you a card by just getting an item. Like, that's just drawing 2 cards right there. It gets you an item and it draws you the card, and then potentially could draw you a 3rd card. Like, this is the bread and butter of the deck. I try as hard as I can to never boost this card. I think it's amazing. This is just what sets up every single turn. If it's not like this specific turn that it completes, then it does it for the next turn, because you can go grab a Teklo core, or you just still have a processor lying around. It just does it all. Processor, of course, is like, you want to be playing like 2 or 3 of these a game, off the top preferably. This just allows you to, do some really devious stuff. Like, you're an unfair deck with how many cards you're drawing. Null Time Zone. Okay, so I actually cut one of the Teklo cores for Null Time Zone. The theory being is, I don't really like having the Teklo core on the top of my deck. It doesn't crank. It doesn't provide any value this turn specifically. Like it just doesn't it doesn't feel great a lot of the times. Like I see myself sprocket rocketing it a lot, like even with the ability to play it. Um, and Null Time Zone is just another blue that can name Sink Below, or like you go look in their graveyard and you see which four block they blocked with the least. If they played a Fate and a Sink and a Shelter, it's like, okay, just take your pick between those. If they played only a Sink Below and it's like an aggro deck, then it's like, okay, I'll do that. Or it's like versus Aurora, you could name Channel Lightning Valley, and you could potentially brick one of their hands like that. It does a lot. Like you, I think this card's actually really really good. Um, I am excited for it and its continued use because I really think that this card is like kind of slept on. Um, it's not seen as good as it is. It definitely gets worse with Zen and Enigma both leaving, because those are like the only two decks that you can really name Chi against. And if you name Chi, like if you name Chi and you don't boot crank it, and if you hit a Fast and Furious boost, like this just wins you the game. Like if this is around for 4 turns against one of the Chi decks, then you're so good. Here we have Teklo Core. This is mostly just like this is an ender target. Like this is a chain ender right here. It's able to just provide resources for the next turn. I would forego an arsenal to play a Teklo Core, um, because it basically is an arsenal card. It just gives you the 2 resources that you need to play, a 3 card hand that you might be able to play, and then arsenal the next card. And then you'll have a 5 card hand, a true 5 card hand that you don't even need to ever pitch for. Really good in that sense. Blue Throttle, it's a boost that can attack for 4, and it's blue. Attacking for 4 at blue, very good. With Go Again, just great. Doesn't even use all your resources from a blue. So good. BIOS update. I am not a huge fan of this card. Still, the reason why I play it is because of the synergy with Teklo Pounder. Like, if you're able to get this pop off, then that's great because this package only ever comes in versus the fatigue decks. So yeah, this convection amplifier is really what allows you to go just over the top of the fatigue decks. If you've got 2 boom grenades on board and you're able to make something dominate, like even one of these like 5, like a 5 attack zipper hit or something, it could be truly backbreaking for one of those decks. Teklo Pounder is just like these are 0 or these are 2 for 6s, and over the course of 3 turns, which is great. Like if you're able to just like play all of these, if you're able to get all 3 of these on at the same time, like I still can't believe I lost to the Jarl while playing all 3 of these at the same time. I really think I misplayed a couple times in that match because I probably shouldn't have boosted one of the times to take the last counter off of all 3 of them. That would have been. I probably could have saved them for one more turn and had an even bigger turn the next turn to make them block with multiple cards and then come in with a heist. But I guess you live and you learn, and maybe next time we'll be able to hit the top 8 with it. Achilles Accelerator, talked about this one whenever I talked about the gear shift, and Bracers of Belief. Nowadays, since like basically the only thing that we want to hit is the heist, you can play Goliath Gauntlet. I really don't think there's much of a difference between the two. I was just playing Braces of Belief because it was already in my deck like box. I didn't really feel like going out and changing it. So, if you're playing Goliath Gauntlet, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you're playing Bracers of Belief, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The one thing that goes better for the Bracers of the Belief is the fact that you could hit a 0 to 6 year zipper hit, like do this, and then Convection Amplifier if you have grenades. Or Outpace, like it hits all of those. So that's good. But the good thing about the Goliath Gauntlet is it doesn't break the chain, so you're able to go maybe like Fast and Furious, like Crank It Item, Fast and Furious, Heist into Pulse Wave Harpoon. And then that Heist is coming for 7. And like that's just really good that you don't have to break the chain. But yeah, I mean, this is like the only card in the deck that really cares about breaking the chain. Maybe T-Bone, so that you're able to go like T-Bone, Heist. or like if you have like triple T-bone, like T-bone, T-bone, T-bone heist, like that's a really good play. Um, that's like the plus on Goliath Gauntlet over Bracers of Belief. And then talking about what are some potential things that will come in for the next meta, we have throttles. They are poppers. If we see this much Prism still around in the next coming weeks, then throttle seems to look really good. And we also have penetration script. This makes our heists, our twin drives, and our red zipper hits into poppers as well. So this is definitely worth testing, and this is probably going to get into the list at some point. Gonna have to find some space, maybe by cutting one of the one drops. Fender Bender Outpace. Yeah, those are like the only one drops that are cuttable. These, because like Pulse Wave Harpoon is like not very cuttable, and Zipper Hit is just too good, like a 1-5, and also could be a hot popper if you're playing penetration script. Yeah, and then also potentially Hanabi Blaster starts coming into lists more if everything slows down a lot and you need to be able to get that last stretch of overpower. I think everybody's going to be running, the freaking 12 D reacts, the 12 0 for 4 D reacts that you could possibly, or the 9 0 for 4 D reacts that you could possibly run, plus the three that all you got. So whenever you're playing like against the deck and you're suspecting a that all you got, then I would just like, if you have the choice between shooting the pistol and jumping over with a or like getting an arsenal with a cerebellum processor, then I would just always use the processor and just get an arsenal. If you suspect they have a that all you got, because then they really want to save it for your pistol shot, and at that point it's just too late, and they're just like sitting there with a card in their hand, and they're like, oh, well, this card sucks, and then they're like, okay, I'm gonna do it again next turn, and it's like, nope, I'm still not gonna play something that you can that all you got. So there are quite a few targets for it in our deck, though, with the 0 to 60, the blue 0 to 60s, the blue T-bones, and the blue outpaces. But, I think that, honestly, playing around those D-reacts can be kind of hard sometimes and not really worth it. But if you have the choice between an arsenal and a shot, I would just take the arsenal. But yeah, we're sitting here at 377 subscribers. Please give this video a like and hit me with a subscribe. I'm really close to 400. I would love to get there, and I'm excited I have a doubleheader Pro Quest this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, that I will be bringing this list to, and hopefully be able to get some wins on it. Maybe I'm hoping to get a top 8. We'll see what happens once I get to top 8. If it's a bunch of Auroras and a bunch of Syndras or something like that, then I'll be super happy. If it's a bunch of Floridians and Jarls like Colorado loves, then not going to be very happy. But we're kind of seeing less Assassins around, seeing more Guardians. Gonna definitely see much less Enigma in the coming weeks. This week there will probably be a lot of people on Zen and Enigma's last hurrah. But yeah, I have a lot of Pro Quests. I have 9 that I can possibly go to. I probably won't go to all of them, but I'm definitely doing the doubleheader this weekend and going to one the weekend after, and maybe another doubleheader the week after that. We shall see. But I am super excited to play this list and give you some updates on how my Pro Quests go. I would love for anybody to like, comment, and subscribe about how their Pro Quests go and what kind of lists they're running, and just some general knowledge. Leave a comment if you disagree with anything in here, if you think it's good. But yeah, shout out to y'all. Thank you so much for watching the video, and leave a like. Thank you very much.